Good morning. We'll call the January 15th, 2025 DRC meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. Community Development is present. Police,
Mike McKinley.
Fire,
Jeremy Holderfield.
and Building.
John Hanson's here.
Okay. I will just remind everybody the meeting is being streamed, so if you could please speak into the microphone, and if you're an applicant, please come to the podium and speak into the mic so we can get everything on the record. We have several walk-on special events permits this morning from Recreation, and Lexi is here. And the first one is the Caribbean American Passport Multicultural Initiative.
So this event went to DRC last year, but then it got canceled. So they're rescheduling it for February 2nd. It's a Sunday. It'll be from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's the Sunshine Reggae Festival. It's a concert and festival. It'll be at the Apopka Amphitheater. They're expecting like 2,000 people. They will have a private security company along with off-duty. There will be alcohol. Parking will be on Barbecue Row, and they'll be setting up food trucks, 10 by 10 tents, and vendors.
All right. Any questions in regards to the proposed special event?
That's February 2nd, you said?
Yes, February 2nd. I think the email I sent said November, but that was from last year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Community Development has nothing. Police,
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No other comments, thank you.
Okay. Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right. The next one up is the Apopka Altamont Springs VFW Neil Diamond Tribute.
So this is a dinner and a show at the Apopka Community Center on Saturday, February 15th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. They have about 275 people coming. They're going to have a basic setup with tables and chairs. They will have alcohol, so they will be hiring off duty. The parking will be in the community center parking lot and on 5th Street, the public parking.
Any questions? All right. Community Development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No comments, thank you.
Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right. The last one, Rotary Club of Apopka Fair.
So the Apopka Fair will be, it'll start on Thursday, February 27th, and then it'll end on Sunday, March 2nd. The event hours vary by day, but this will be at Kitland Nelson Park in Edwardsfield. They're expecting about 2,500 people. They are not sure if they're going to be hiring a private security company yet, but they will be hiring off duty because there will be alcohol. They'll be setting up food concessions, 10 by 20 tents, and vendors, and parking will be on a portion of Edwardsfield.
Any questions? All right. Hearing none. Community Development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything, thank you.
Fire.
No comments.
Building.
In the past, years back, fire and building used to go over and do like a walkthrough inspection. I think we need to get back to that, especially for the fair, just to make sure everything electrical is fine, make sure they have their fire extinguishers.
Okay. Sounds
I
good.
agree with that.
All right. All right. Thank you, Lexi.
Thank you.
Next item is an annexation. 2501 Rock Springs Road. June Son is the project manager.
Good morning, this is the annexation project. The applicant has requested annexation of the property located at 2501 Rock Springs Road. The total size of the property is 9.63 acre. Current land use and zoning in Orange County is rural agricultural. Currently, the property is vacant. The proposed use is residential development for about 20 single-family units. Surrounding properties, land use is office with a school and residential. Is the applicant here?
Is the applicant in attendance?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like to come before the DRC? Any questions? Or does anybody have any questions or comments for the applicant?
I know this is just a rezone. I'm going to assume that we're not going to allow any higher density than's allowed in that area and the other subdivisions we've allowed in that area in the past, correct?
That's correct. We're at the annexation stage right now.
I get that, but I just want to make it clear that that's not an area that needs to be high density.
Right. So they are, I think the most that they could get there would be 2 units an acre. And I believe part of it's in the Wakaiva, if I remember correctly. So the comp plan caps that at 2 dwelling units an acre.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody, the applicant, would you like to come up? Okay. Okay. All right. All right. Community Development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Fire.
No comments, thank you.
Building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right, thank you, June. Next item, Eden Crest Phase 1 plat, second submittal, Amir Hamza is project manager.
Good morning, everyone. This is a resubmittal for a plat for Eden Crest Subdivision Phase 1, which consists of 184 lots, and the future land use is residential low, and zoning is planned development. And it is just east of Binion Road. And is applicant in attendance today for... Yeah, applicant is in attendance for further comments and questions that need to be answered.
Any questions for the applicant or comments? Okay. Hearing none. Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything. Thank you.
fire,
No comments, thank you.
and building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right,
It'll
thank
go
you.
for resubmittal since
Okay.
I had comments for engineering and community development and the legal had comments.
Okay. And technical difficulties once again with the agenda packet. Next item, Errol Parkway Business Center. That's why Amir keeps standing there, because he's the project manager.
Yeah. So this is a construction site plan for a business center, commercial business center. It's square footage of area will be 15,600 square feet, and it'll be one story. The future land use is commercial. The zoning is community commercial, and size of the property is 1.49 acres. And I had no further comments, and when I set up the comment letter, no other departments had any other further comments, so this should be good to go.
Is the applicant in attendance? Does not appear so.
Yeah.
Any questions from the DRC?
This is Mr. Cooper's property,
sir.
correct? Did we have the engineer check that entrance onto Old Dixie to ensure it was far enough away from the Errol Parkway?
Yeah,
Turn.
when I looked at the comments, they matched the they did the changes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and I'll just add that this is a minor development plan, so this would constitute the approval process based on the code. It does not have to go to city council.
Yeah.
With that, community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
fire,
No comments, thank you.
building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right, thank you, sir. Next item on the agenda, Hunt Club Medical Office. June Son is the project manager.
Okay, so this is a CSP project. The applicant has requested approval of CSP for medical office located at 2715 East Cimarron Boulevard. The size of the property is about 0.82 acre. The future land use is mixed use and zoning is PD. The property is a part of PD master plan of Apopka Gateway Center, Ordinance 1948, which was adopted in June 2007. The proposed total area of the building is 5,285 square feet, and proposed number of parking space and open space requirements are sufficient. Is applicant? Yep, applicant is here.
All right, thank you, June. The applicant's in attendance. Do you have any questions or comments for the DRC?
Good morning. Introduce myself here. I'm Selby Weeks with Klima Weeks Civil Engineering. Just have a few comments, mostly clarifications. But under the planning and zoning comments, numbers 4 and 5, really, the comment says that the required buffer for Cortez is 15 feet, but in the ordinance and the master plan, it clearly shows 10 feet on the plan, and in the table, it's unclear. When you read it in the table, it's like you could see 15 feet when you zoom in on it, or you could see that part of the zero is missing. So you see this, but here's the plan. There's the master plan. It's very clear that this plan that was approved has 10 feet on both Cimarron and on Cortez.
Okay, I'll double check.
So, okay. And by the way, so we discussed that in the pre-application meeting. That was one of our important questions before we laid the site out, was to confirm that. So, but yeah, I don't want to, but so that's one thing. So that's numbers 4 and 5. Let's see. Number 6 is asking for a parking plan, which our C100, I mean, the parking plan is described in like one sentence in the LDC, and our L100 or C100 and C300 include, I believe, all the information that would be required of a parking plan. So I don't understand. I mean, do we need to create an entire extra sheet that says parking plan on it?
Yes.
What's the purpose of that?
It's in the land development code.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do it. All right. Then this is just something for consideration for staff. It has really no bearing on this project. But on number 7, you're rounding up a lot of people's LDCs for parking. Yours doesn't specify. A lot of people's LDCs do say, hey, 0.5 down, you round down, 0.5 up, you round area over 0.5, you round up. So just for consideration, like I said, it has no bearing on this one. We're 6 over anyway. So we'll update that. Let's see. Number 10, we provided a lighting plan, but the comment says that we is asking for a lighting plan. So in the submittal, there's a site lighting plan digitally signed included in the submittal. So there's photometrics and an electrical site plan. Okay. And then related to that, there's a comment here about having lighting for bicycle parking spaces. The bike parking is right next to the parking lot. The parking lot's lit, so I don't know. Is there a minimum light level required at the bike spaces?
Light on bicycle parking space is required. So as long as this like the light on parking lot is good enough to cover the bicycle parking space, that should be okay.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so the photometrics show the light level, and it's up near the building. And there's light in the building. And I know when they do the photometrics, they're only looking at the site at the light poles in the parking lot. They don't usually take into account the light from the building. So it's up near the building, so that light level will be a little bit higher at the parking spaces for safety. These comments, the next ones are transportation planning, which is Richard, and I don't see Richard here unless I forgot what he looked like. So,
Yeah, he became invisible. He's
Okay,
no longer
yeah.
here. So we've
Okay.
got somebody to take his place. A lady by the name of Diana Almodovar. I believe she'll start
Really?
Tuesday. Yes.
Okay, I know Diana.
Yeah.
These comments are from her.
Yeah.
Oh, they are? Okay. All right, I know Diana. Okay. Wow, how about that? Out of retirement. So, is there any point in even bringing any of these up? Or if Diana's
I would
not
just
here?
reach out to her. She'll start Tuesday with the city.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. I just want to see if there's anything. There's one comment in here. There are a couple maybe worth mentioning, Bobby, while we're all here together. There's a number one is just asking for calculations for the stormwater, which we provided. So there's stormwater calculations labeled stormwater calculations in the submittal that we made. So that's already in there. There's a question here. Number 3 is an interesting one. It says, I'll skip to the punchline here because you guys are familiar with your comments probably. So it says the developer may contribute the proportionate share amount to the cost of such improvements as determined by the city's authorizing agent. I know that this master system, it discharges both ways. So part of it does go to Border Lake and part of it goes northwest. I can't remember the name of the lake up there, but down the hill a few. Does anyone have any additional information on this comment about proportionate share? Because obviously, you got a project with a pro forma that's budgeted based on that. And so having this show up in a set of comments is kind of raises the red flags. What do we need to do with that?
That I'm not really aware. I would suggest reaching out to Miss Almodovar.
Okay.
When she begins her tenure here with the city.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. And then, there's a comment about the plat. It's saying the plat shows right of way, but the survey that we have is based on title. And so if there were still a right of way there, then it would have shown up on the survey. So we can explain that and we'll reach out to Diana and then I'll get her contact information from you.
Just email me and I'll give it to you.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. All right. Does anybody on the DRC have any questions of that?
I'm not sure how we can approve a project that's going to dump more water into Border Lake.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what it did last time during our last hurricane.
Yeah.
So until some kind of resolution is resolved for Border Lake, I find it very hard for our engineers to say that we can dump more water into Border Lake.
Right. Okay. Would you like to speak to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the pond on this site is designed for the 25-year, 96-hour storm event, and has the 100-year stages. So I don't know if we drove out there after the last flooding that occurred from the hurricane, and this pond had not even overfilled. So
Which pond?
the one that serves this site, so it's the one immediately northeast of it, and we did see there's water standing.
That's not the one in front of the apartment complex, because the one in front of the apartment complex was compromised.
But we don't discharge to that one.
That's what I'm asking.
No.
I know nothing about water discharge.
Oh, okay,
so I
yeah.
may ask you some ignorant questions here.
No,
but
I'm
all
sorry.
I know is from a city perspective, we can't put any more water into Border Lake.
Sure. Yeah. So when I say there's discharges to it, that would be if it exceeded the 100-year event. So when there was no water discharging out of this pond, so it's designed to hold all of its water, because it's in a landlocked basin. So we went out there, we saw that there was water standing in the road to the east of the site, but this wasn't contributing.
Y'all are on the west side of the
we're north
hotel
side of
property.
Sorry,
you're in front of the hotels.
That's right. We're
on the west, in front of the West Hotel.
Exactly, southwest of it. And the funny thing is actually in the existing condition, a portion of the site, a larger portion of the site, discharges out into the right of way, just because when they mass graded it, the water runs that direction. But after we're done, we're going to be picking up all of that water, and we're going to be sending it to the pond that it's supposed to go to. So we'll actually be reducing water that goes out into the right of way.
All right. I just asked that Ms. Almodovar look at that extensively, so that we make sure that we're not dumping anything excessively into Border Lake, because I've lived here my entire life. It's higher than it's ever been, and it's staying higher than it's ever been.
Yeah, I understand. I drive by it every day on my way to and from work, so I've got a pretty good eyes on it too.
And obviously, the pond in front of the apartment complex is insufficient, because it was, like I said, it overflowed too into the streets.
Okay, yeah, I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah,
one.
and that's not your responsibility.
Right.
I get it, but
yeah,
adding more water to this area is going to create a problem. So I just want to make sure that we cover our bases, because it does become a public safety issue when the roads flood, obviously.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said, based on my view, I didn't design this pond either, but we did review the stormwater calcs for it, and we looked at it for our project here. And again, it was good timing that we had a pre-application meeting with the city prior to the hurricanes. And so we went out there and drove all around after the storms and everything, and checked it out to see if it, looked like there were any issues with this pond. And this pond looks like it's performing the way it's supposed to, which is, permitted with the Water Management District and with the city to handle this impervious. So this was already permitted to discharge here.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any additional questions for the applicant? Comments? All right, with that, we'll go around. Community development has nothing further. Police.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Fire.
I don't have anything. I do concur with Chief McKinley on that, though. There's concerns, obviously, from the water standpoint. But if what you're saying is accurate, then okay, I understand.
All right, thank you. Building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right. The last item on the agenda is the Advent Health Construction Site Plan revision for Fudge Road, and June is the project manager.
Okay, so this is a revision of CSP project. So of Advent Health Fudge Road Complex Phase 1. The plan was approved in 2021, has not expired due to declaration of the state of emergency. Proposed land use has been changed from warehouse medical supply distribution facility to food processing and distribution facilities, and its special extension permit was approved in December 2027. The total size of the property is 53.65 acre. The land use is industrial, zoning is light industrial. The revised total size of the building, including building 1 and its expansion, is 75,900 square feet, and the proposed parking space and open space are sufficient.
Thank you. The applicant is in attendance. Would you like to speak for the DRC?
Good morning, John Towns with McIntosh Associates, the civil engineer for Advent Health. Don't really have any questions. The comments are pretty straightforward. Actually, the green bill stuff was already in there. It was called sustainability. I think it was the old call out, so we'll just change the name of it. We already have 4 points. Don't know if anyone else has comments. That said comments may be forthcoming. Don't know if that's true or not, so I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions for the applicant?
Just a curiosity question. Advent Health still own it?
Yes, they
Thank
still
you.
own it, and they're going to develop on it, I believe. I think they're about there. I haven't got the numbers yet, but yeah, it's a big number
Sounds
on money.
good.
Thank you.
I do have one, since Diane is coming back, coming in, do I need to get with her to talk about transportation impact fee credit discussions that we had earlier related to this, as well as utility upsize agreements?
Utilities, definitely. Transportation, I would have to check and see if that's going to fall under her wheelhouse or not.
Okay.
Were you working through Richard on that?
Was working originally through Pam,
Okay.
and then Richard took it over for the transportation. We haven't discussed utility upsize agreements yet.
Okay.
And then there's also the whole pioneering thing that's going on out there. So
Hogshead, right.
just trying to
Okay.
herd the cats, as we call it. So get all that worked out. So
All right. I will.
Okay.
I'll let you know about the transportation thing. I'll
Okay.
ask. But as far as the utilities, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we make this minor submittal back into changing the name. Are we subject to their saying it's okay, approved and ready to hold a pre-con whenever that happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't seem like anybody has any further comments or questions. June?
I actually have a concern from the neighborhood.
June, can you
that-
speak in the mic?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The Fudge Road.
Yes. So the neighborhood called me, and I think he's one of the property owner at the Fudge Road, and according to him, Fudge Road is private road, and he's concerning about trucks accessing using that Fudge Road.
So I can answer that. So we have no legal right to access the road there, and we can't physically access it anyway. So our only access for Advent Health is off of Hogshead Road. Public services and fire will have the secondary access from the north through the airport. Advent Health owns the property just to the north, and so they have access rights to that roadway up there. And we're providing a stabilized access up there for fire and EMS to get through if something's blocked on the other side.
And confirm stabilized access. What's your confirmation of that?
They'd be able to handle a 42-ton truck.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm,
A full stabilized, yeah.
okay. I'm looking for a paved type road. I'm not going to accept any grass or any type of surface like that. Just as a heads up.
Oh, you want paved all the way up to the
Yes.
top?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. Now, how about through the property to the north?
I want it paved. If we're going to have an access point, I don't want my trucks off road. So, that's what I'm pushing on everybody going forward. I'm not accepting any of the stabilized grass surface because it becomes an issue with us finding them, knowing where they're at. And in our policy, we ask for our trucks not to be off road. So
Okay.
I can't have builders building roads that are made for us, and I'm telling my people not to go on. So
Okay.
I want paved on all ends of any kind of access point.
Okay. We'll get that addressed on the response. It'll be so it's paved, not gravel. Paved.
Not gravel. I'd look for
Okay.
paved.
All right. We'll
you.
go through that with them. Thank you.
All right. So based on that comment, then there would be a response.
I'll have to revise it.
A
anyway,
revised
so-
plan. Yeah, exactly. All right. Any further questions for the applicant? Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
fire, anything else?
No other comments. Thank you.
All right. Building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you. Glad we discussed that.
All right. Okay. Any items for discussion?
Would you check Winding Meadows? I believe we had a lot of debate over alley lighting,
Uh-huh.
and I thought that we had come to the conclusion that they needed to have street lighting, regular street lighting.
Right.
And when I went through there the other day, all the lights are attached to the buildings, which I thought we said we were not going to allow.
Okay. I'll go out and check the site.
So they're
Friday.
It might have been the last one to slip in. I don't remember,
It could
but I'd
have
like
been.
to check and see because we've changed our process, and I thought that was one of them where we would not allow them because I think that's one of Luke's projects.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I know we had the debate, and it was clear that it had to be street lighting, not house lighting that they could turn off, and that's what they've installed.
Okay. All right. I'll double check it. It could have been one that slipped through the cracks. Hey there.
Mr. Cooper, how are you doing, young man?
And welcome, Mike Cooper, to DRC.
We started at 8. Where you been?
We'll do it like we're on the Tonight Show. Let's talk about your newest project.
I think you made it with no issues.
It was totally denied. Your project was denied.
Well, I might as well go. There's no sense in me staying around if it's denied.
Well, now that you showed up, we'll see if we can find some
I hope
questions.
that's not true.
Any other items for discussion? All right, we're adjourned.